Click the links to join the channel here or on Subscribestar. Thanks to the recent members, Goose and Ireland, and everyone else who has joined over the various platforms. So this image is of a human skeleton, human remains in a suit of armor, and from dust to dust, the flesh is weak, right? And the armor will go on for 1,000 years, and it's kind of like who's that guy who wrote these books? Jack McDevitt or something. He wrote a bunch of books about these lost civilizations. Fantastic freaking series. And oddly enough, for as like anti-woke as I am, the lead character, was a woman. I think Hutchinson or something was the female, kind of the Sigourney Weaver type. And he used her for like a half a dozen of these lost civilization books, and it was great because they went sailing around the seas of the ocean, the spaceways, to find these lost civilizations, and you never found them. You just found hints of what remained, and it made it creepier and more sinister. And there were these great and godlike creatures, and then there were these like clouds, these intelligent clouds. Fantastic series of books. I'm looking at one on my bookshelf now that I guess I could try to gather them up and mail off to people. But it made the mystery so much greater when you never actually found the civilization. It's like the searching for God-like characters. Well, you can't actually ever find them because it's impossible for a human to write a story about finding that, because it's always going to be a letdown. So you just never find it. You just find the remains of what happened with these civilizations. And it's a fantastic series of books. But in this image of the human skeleton, it's like in the suit of armor. It's the fandom, it's the hobbies, it's like Dungeons and Dragons. Some group of geeks create something, sitting around drinking cheap red wine and smoking and coming up with these ideas to put together. And like the guys who came up with the ideas were probably, on the left wing in the 70s, but that was a different left wing, and that's a deeper conversation. Not politically correct for YouTube, but like it was a set of circumstances that was so radically different from anything today, where most of those guys who were left wingers in the 70s would realize, like, yeah, those ideas are failing ideas. There's no way for those things to carry forward. But they create something, and then once it passes out beyond their control, where Tolkien dies, it goes to his kid and his grandkid, and then the estate takes control of it, or you create something and they sell it off to, the Hollywood makes a movie of it, and it's beyond your control. They do it with Stephen King or any one of these other the guy who's doing, not the Wheel of Time with Jordan, who I think died actually, or Martin, who's doing his book series on Game of Thrones. Or like once it passes out of their hands, it's over. You can just abandon it, or a game passes to some international corporation, and they start, like, it's gone. Once it's sold, it's gone. Like don't even hold any hope out. Like, oh, we're gonna try to maintain the original artistic vision. No, there's like nobody says that anymore. The last time somebody tried to do that was in 2000. With Lord of the Rings and the movie, and Peter Jackson said, we're just going to make this as close to the books as possible, and we're not going to put ourselves into it. That's over. All that is over. Like, to say that now, social media, Twitter, social media would lose their mind about that's your European privilege speaking. Like, oh, the people who created the thing that's so great that you love it so much. Yeah, it's not really privilege. I mean, it's earned because they created it. It's like their genius that created it. Like if people love the thing itself, they love the story itself. If you're trying to put yourself into it, I mean, how many times, like, this is, I mean, you've seen this 1,000 times. They do this to everything, where you've got people who are trying to stand on the shoulders of other people, but they're just not capable of it. The people who are working on Star Wars now, or the people who are doing Wheel of Time or Rings of Power, or any of these, even She-Hulk or all this kind of nonsense. Disney, yeah, once Disney gets a hold of it, well, they just destroy everything. They're not fit to, tie these people's shoes. And, maybe they would have been if they tried to stay with the artist's original vision. But that's gone. Like, there's nobody who's going to do that now, because you're in the midst of this Bolshevik revolution, and that's just not going to change. So you have to gatekeep. So this image of the skeleton in the suit of armor, it's like it's the rise of the Imperium, the rise of something great, the original artistic vision. It gets a fandom, and then it gets out. And like, oh, we need to be. As soon as you start hearing these globalist buzzwords about women and POCs and diverse and marginalized and inclusive, and oh, we just need to list our pronouns, and like, it's over. I mean, even something as simple as pronouns. There's a you'd go, oh, so yeah, we don't believe in that. We believe in sex-based pronouns, and we also don't believe in compelled speech, that you're asking us to lie, so we're not going to participate in that. Will you respect our diversity of thought? And, ideally, the libertarian viewpoint has always been, the least amount of harm, right? And so compelled speech would be a bridge too far to ask somebody to tell a lie, which is objectively a lie. But in their mind, they're going to twist it. They go, oh, well, if you're not going to use preferred pronouns, you're not welcome in the fandom that you, or, guys like you created. Like, oh, okay, so it's gotten away from us and it's gone. Yeah, these are legal intellectual properties. Once they're sold, they're gone. And you need to if you own it, if you have some controlling interest in it, you have to gatekeep. And the suicidal altruism of geeky guys to try to be as nice as possible, it just leads to that meme of the 4 square boxes where, you create something, people say, oh, we need to come in there and be diverse and inclusive. And that's where you just take the flamethrower and go, no, we can't have you in here. Because we've seen this history repeated 1,000 times. It's Lucy kicking, moving the football away from the guy. You just have to gatekeep, otherwise they'll just take it away from you, and then they go, oh, you guys should just go create your own thing. It's like, well, we created our own thing, and now you guys come in there and destroy it. It happens with every single thing they can possibly think of. And, the thing about diversity, inclusion, and marginalized voices and oppressed and system, all these like Bolshevik Frankfurt School buzzwords, is that you're marginalizing the right wing right now. You're oppressing them literally right now. Does diversity include those voices? Oh, we didn't mean diversity when we said diversity. Oh, yeah, let's keep it real here. You're the left wing are the authoritarian dictators the whole time. You go, oh, Warhammer is for everyone. Okay, well, that includes people on no, not people on the right. Those are all Hugo Boss. Well, that's what diversity means. If you say it's for everyone from the full spectrum of the far left to the far right. Oh, well, we didn't mean it. But then why'd you say it? Because it's virtue signaling, and it's a dog whistle to our own side. When we say it's for everyone and we value diversity, we don't mean it. So you're literally saying something you don't mean. Yeah, absolutely. Of course they're literally saying something they don't mean. It's a signal to their own side to say, we're going to exclude anyone to the right of Mao Zedong or any of that kind of thing. It's like, yeah, they don't, the diversity. Yeah, that's like diversity of thought. Oh, that's a far right value. It's Stone Toss just did a meme of what's going on with Elon Musk and Twitter, and it shows a bunch of Hugo Boss people wearing, and the Austrian corporal's giving a speech, and he goes, yeah, free speech. We want free speech. And everyone in the audience is doing the Roman salute. And it's like, that's the narrative now with the left wing, is that the people who want free speech are the bad guys. Yeah, we think compelled speech, forcing people to use pronouns, maybe not such a good idea. Or the drag queen story hour stuff, or doing these things to kids. Yeah, those aren't good ideas. You should probably wait until you're 18, 25, or if you're talking about doing stuff to yourself, probably never do that. I mean, that's just not a good idea. Oh, okay. So you guys are the Yahtzees because you don't want us to hurt ourselves. Yeah, I mean, I don't want you to hurt yourself, so that makes me the bad guy, or your kids, but yourself, like an adult. You're like an adult. Yeah, maybe you should think twice about sterilizing yourself. Listen, here's the proof in the pudding right now. If I'll use myself for example, if I really hated these people, wouldn't I want them to sterilize themselves? I mean, can you refute that argument? Oh, well, you're just playing like 3D chess. Clearly, I'm not capable of playing 3D chess or any game of chess. You can hear it. I see. Oh, so you want to sterilize yourself? Maybe that's not a good thing to do. Maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe you should just kind of accept yourself as you are. That's exactly what a Nazi would say. That I don't want you to hurt yourself. I mean, do you guys hear yourself? Do you hear does the left wing hear anything they say? Wouldn't I take the opposite side and say, yeah, by all means, harm yourself, absolutely. But I'm clearly not saying that. It's like, you've been lied to, left wing. You've been lied to. Are there shitlords on the right? Yeah, there are, for sure. Those free speech Nazis. Yeah. I mean, like, how to break the left wing out of the left wing? Man, it was tough up until a few years ago because we didn't have alt media. We didn't have like the tech buy-in point for like Kindles and cell phones and Odyssey, Bit Chute, and all these other, Gab and all these other alt platforms where we're able to disseminate these ideas and then trickle them on to Twitter with, burner phones and burner accounts. That is a white pill, is being able to try to change the narrative a little bit. Anyway, Warhammer, you could just leave it alone. You don't like. Are you concerned about the anti-globalist future or the anti-communist future? Because those are the people who committed actual atrocities that resulted, in Russia and Ukraine. What is it, the Holodomor, where they mass starvation of people throughout Russia and Eastern Europe. Like, are you guys concerned about that? Or China, the atrocities in China and Russia that came from the Bolsheviks? You gonna worry about that one? No. We're worried about this other little thing, this little straw man argument we have. Oh, okay. So have you destroyed anything you touch? Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, Warhammer. I mean, if they could find a way to destroy chess, oh, they probably would, but chess is a little bit too complicated. I mean, anything they can get a hold of that they can infiltrate, they will find a way to destroy. You have to gatekeep. It doesn't, like Comicsgate is the example, like most of us are connected through that, is you have to gatekeep. You can't be nice to left wingers. Like some nice looking, some cute chick who's kind of on the left wing wants to come in and sell a comic book. You just got to let that one go. I know you want to be nice, but that's how it starts. Is you have to gate, or you have to start with a dogma, a credo. It's like, oh yeah, we're free speech, or the thing to do is like, oh yeah, we platform everyone, but the dogma rule number one is we're free speech and platform everyone, and that way you can have anyone on there. But once something is sold to an international company or once it's out of the original hands, it's over. You got to create something new, left or right, anything. It's over. It's just it's that. Once it's sold, it's gone. It's absolutely gone. You had good memories. You got little icons you could paint. Get together with that Superman guy and paint this stuff. I don't know. That's actually a beautiful image. But I mean, that's an image that says so much. That says so much about anything that the left wing touches. Is they come in, they just snuggle it to death, and then they move on. Like the what was that book, Jack McDermott, Omega? It's about the clouds that they and that's a common theme in science fiction where civilization, and I think not David Brin, the guy who wrote Darwin's Radio, Greg Bear, I think, wrote Darwin's Radio. It's a civilization, and David Brin also did something about the Uplift Wars. These books I read as a kid. Civilization gets to a certain advanced point, and then this super hyper civilization for some reason comes along and destroys it. And the test is you have to escape that to get out beyond the stars. And it's like that ship has sailed for America, unfortunately, a few decades ago. Like, so much to say about that. Anyway, I'm enjoying the time on YouTube, so it is what it is. Check out Odyssey, Bit Chute, Subscribestar. Those are freer speech platforms. When are my people going to be free? I don't know. It might be coming up. Boy Scout motto time and all that kind of thing. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Very special thank you to everyone who has helped make this possible, and I will see you guys all next episode.